This is Professor Phillips, and this message is for Maria. So I see that you've submitted some information here, and it looks like you are going to be doing some higher levels of math, so you definitely want to prepare with that math 80 and 60 because you're going to do the higher levels, and they need both classes there. Looks like you're in the 84, and you're going to go on to the 1A and then the 1C. You're going to go to Dominguez, and it looks like you're going for computer science. Okay. So let me pull up your transcripts here. So, okay, it looks like you have the dance, English, computers, withdrew from the math, human development, Spanish, art, English. Okay, very good. So you've taken a couple classes that do count. So let's look up your transfer major sheet for Dominguez for computer science. So, okay, so you're going to do a lot of math and a lot of physics. So you could do, you're basically going to have you're going to be a math major if you have to go all the way up to 210. So in the catalog, that looks like, let me see, what is it? Where is my catalog? Here we go. All right, let's see. Because computer science, I saw the pages that you put for computer science, so let me explain one thing about that. It's the only thing we offer in computer science is a certificate. So that does not really prepare you for the major that you're looking for. And this is programming and Java and HTML. What you are preparing for in terms of computer science is a little bit different. So because you have to take all the math and the physics courses, what that falls under in the catalog is actually math and physics. So you're going to basically get an Associate of Science transfer degree in math, and you're going to be pretty much eligible if you do all the physics for the degree in physics. So this is the Math Associate of Science transfer degree, and it says here you have to do 15 units. You have to do Math 190, 191, 220, and then 270. That's 5 units there, and then 4 to 5 units down here. And you are looks like you're going to do the 210. So that's one option there. Now keep in mind that on the transfer sheet, it doesn't say that you need 270 to go to Dominguez. But if you want to keep your options open, so like maybe you want to consider Fullerton, 270 is required there. So that's one way to look at how you can read these to see what's necessary and compare schools to transfer to. Your other option is to be a physics major. So in the catalog, what that would look like is, let's see what page physics is on. The Associate of Science transfer degree is on 319. So physics, Associate of Science transfer degree. Here we go. Physics 1A, 1C, and 1B, or 1D, so either one of these, and then 190, 191, and 220. So that would be 26 to 27 units there. So those are your two options. If for some reason you do all of those classes, then you could be eligible for 2 degrees. If you just do one option, which includes the transfer preparation classes on here, then you would either have a math or a physics degree. It's up to you. So for this assignment, let's just say you are going to be a physics major, right? So these are the classes that you would put down in the majors section here. So let's start with that. Physics 1A, Physics 1A, and then Physics 1B or 1C, and then 1C. Oh, I'm sorry, I put it down wrong. 1C and 1B, so it goes like this: 1C and 1B. See, and then it was physics. The last one was. Last one was 1B or 1D. Okay, so let's make sure that you need one or the other. I think you need both for transfer. Let me look at the transfer maker sheet one more time. Yeah, they want you to do the whole thing. Or 130 and 120, but it looks like to choose the physics major, you would have to do these 4. If you chose the math major, you'd still have to do another math class of the 270, just that's what we just looked up. So you could choose either one or the other, it looks like. So if you choose physics, we'll put down all 4 on your major classes, 1D. And then what else does it say? Math 190, 191, and 220. So we'll put that down. Math 190, Math 191, and Math 220. Oops. So what you're going to find out when you look these classes up in the catalog for the amount of units, you're going to see the prerequisites and see that there's a long sequence. So for the higher levels of math, you need 80 and 60. Then after those two, which can be taken at the same time, you go to 170, and then 180, and then 190, and then let me double check because now I'm forgetting. What comes after 190? I think it's 220, or is it 210? Let me see. Map, page 270. So I had my little cheat sheet out here earlier, but I put it away. So again, you have the 60, the geometry, and the 80 intermediate algebra, and from there you would go on to the 170. So the 170 is down here. So it says the prerequisite is math 60 and 80. And then after 170, you go on to 180. It says the prerequisite is 170. After 180, you go on to 190. It says the prerequisite is 180. And then 191, right, 191. And then, let me put down 191, 191. And then we needed the 220 as well. Where'd it go? 220. So 220's prerequisite is 191. Alright, so 220's prerequisite is 191. There you go. Now, that is all of the math that is required here if you choose the physics major. Let's just double check that your physics classes aren't requiring you to do any more math. Physics was on page 319, and the 1A requires 190, 1B requires 191, 1C requires 191, and 1D requires 191. Okay, good. So yeah, you're good with the math prerequisites there. All right, English. You said that English, you were doing 84 and then the 1A and then 1C. So you could just put 84, 1A, and then 1C. And then that is fine there. So you're going to add these up. You'll have plenty of units. You will not need any electives, okay? And over here on the CSU General Education side, this information is going to, oh, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. The other classes on the transfer major sheet do need to go under your transfer major sheet classes. So, for example, the Bachelor's of Science, they want a couple more classes in computers, and or I don't know which one you're looking at. The Bachelor's of Arts is in computer technology, and they would have a couple of different types of classes here, a little bit less math and physics, more so computers, yeah, computers, and then 2 math classes. So if that's the case, then you would put down those classes. But for this example, we're going to put down computers 2, 3, and 16, and then that would be everything, yeah. Okay, let's see. Computers 2, computers 3, and computers 16. All right. And then you would just look those up in the catalog to see if they had any prerequisites. Computer science, 163. There's 2. Okay, prereq has 1, so we have another class there. 3 and 16. Okay, good. Oh, and they want the math 180. That's interesting. Alright, so you'd have to wait until you took the math 180 to be able to take that course. Alright, so you want to write down all the units and all the prereqs, alright, to all of your classes. Now, the general education side on the CSU side is going to be in the catalog on page 79? Yeah, 79. Alright, CSU General Education, here we go. Area A, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to highlight Communication Studies 100, English 1A, and English 1C. Those are going to be your 3 Area A classes. So Communication Studies 100 is A1, A2 is English 1A, A3 is English 1C. Your B1 is going to be some of these science classes. So the physics goes either B1 or B2. Physics. Okay. So all your physics goes under B1. You just need one course though. It's 9 semester units, one from B1, one from B2, the laboratory for B3, and then the math for B4. So physics 1A can go right here, physics 1A, and you're going to count the units over here. It's 4 or 5 units. So you're not going to count the units here in the general education. So B2, you get to choose any class from B2. Keep in mind, hopefully whatever you choose doesn't have a prerequisite because you have plenty of classes to take. B3 is the laboratory. So the asterisk means that the class has a laboratory. So Physics 1A has the asterisk, and so you do not need to add anything else. You could simply just put Physics 1A and then a line because that meets the laboratory requirement. Okay. And then the math, you have plenty of math, so we can just use the math 220. Don't count those units there. Again, the math is listed right here, and that's the 220, math 220. Area AC, Area C, we have C1 and we have C2, Arts and Humanities. Let's see if your transcripts have any of these already. Art 101, there you go. And then Spanish 1. Okay, so right here we have Art 101. So C1, you can put down Art 101. And that was 3 units on your transcripts. And you had Spanish 1. Spanish 1 falls under this category right here, which is humanities. So we could put Spanish 1, and I think that's what, 4 units now? Or they changed it, or your transcripts? 4 units, yep. Okay. So the other classes that you would need in C1 or 2 are going to be your choice. Again, you can choose any one more class from C1 or C2 for that. Moving on to Area D, you need 9 units, and that's going to be 3 courses. So a lot of times students get their History 101 and their Political Science 1 out of the way, and they will choose one more course. That's up to you. Last but not least, Area E, Human Development 110, that's where your class goes right here for 3 units. And you are going to add the units up for your GE right here, add the major units up here, fill in the prerequisites by looking in the catalog, all right? And then your GE course total goes here, major and total down here. You should not need electives. So that's how you do your planning sheet. Once you are ready, you can look at your transcripts, see that you've done, let's see that you've done, we'll see what you're in right now. For example, the Human Development, Spanish, Art, and English. This is what you put down in the fall 2018, right, semester. Then you go back to your sheet, cross them out, and maybe in like a red color, so you know what's already been put on your on your educational plan, and you're not duplicating any classes and whatnot. And then everything that's left over, one by one, goes into the next semester, so winter, spring, summer, and so on. It's going to be very important for you to make sure you understand the prerequisites and you put these in the right order, because some of them have 2 prerequisites, like a certain level of math and a physics class. So pay attention to the catalog. All right. Once you're done with your planning sheet, you can move on to your educational plan. If you don't have any questions, just put down what you have this fall semester and continue on, making sure to abide by prerequisites. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help.